it's time for Stitch, the movie. Alright. So, those of you who don't know, I am a big fan of the Lilo and Stitch movies. And the cartoon show that followed, which I will be reviewing the cartoon show after this review. So, let's get started. Nonnie and David in this one don't mean anything, really. They're just like there to keep continuity with the previous movies, I guess. I don't know. I mean, though considering what David's part in Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch was, it's probably a very good thing that he didn't have a major role in Stitch the movie. But I kind of like, there is only like really one scene that shows sort of that sisterly bond between Nonnie and Lilo, and after that, that scene isn't even really done that well. But after that, it's like nothing. I don't understand why. Well, I guess I can understand why it's called Stitch the movie. So obviously, it can't be about too much about Lilo and Nonnie. So, yeah. This movie is definitely a Stitch and Jumbo movie. As in, Jumbo gets more focus than anyone else besides Stitch. But it's good focus. It's to move the plot along. I guess, yeah, it's to move the plot of the movie along. And to establish new characters like the new villain of Lilo and Stitch. Seville is definitely one of their villains that's played more for laughs than being threatening. But it fits with his character and really with Lilo and Stitch, if you think about it, because their villains have the villain like Gansu. Well, I've always found Gansu somewhat funny in the first movie, sometimes in some of his scenes. Anyways, speaking of Gansu, so Gansu and Hamster work off each other really well in this movie. They are hilarious, and that is one thing this one does very well, is the comedy. So, Gansu is a lot more of an enjoyable character in this one. Yeah, I found him a little bit funny in the first one during certain scenes, but in this one he's a lot more entertaining and a lot more humorous and played for laughs. So, yeah, he's a lot better in this one than in the previous. Sparky has somewhat of a bigger role than the other characters in this movie, like Nonnie and David. And I think that's mainly because of his concern over Jumbo being taken by Hamsterville. So, yeah, I find his concern over Jumbo to be very genuine and almost endearing to the point, but annoying to a point. But that's just how you gotta take politically. Sometimes he's hilarious, sometimes he's annoying. So, yeah, I think his character's done better in this one. Especially better than in Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch. Because they actually gave Pleakley an actually good part that he can play well, I guess you could say. Cobra also makes a reappearance in this one, like Gansu. Sorry about that. And his character was alright. I mean, he did look like him from the first movie, but I think that's about as much as you people could probably hope to get out of this. So, yeah. And next we'll talk about a newly added character, like Hamsterville. 625, one of the other experiments, yes, there were other experiments, for those of you who probably couldn't figure out with the fact that Stitch was named 626, but anyway, he sort of adds on to the comedic duo of Hamsterville and Gansu, making it a trio, and they are the funniest characters in this movie. They work off each other very well, as I already said, with the relationship between Gansu and Hamsterville. 625 is probably one of my more favorite experiments, but I think that's mainly because he got such a large focus in this movie, in the Leroy and Stitch movie, which I will be reviewing after Lilo and Stitch the series, and he got such a huge role in Lilo and Stitch the series. He kind of got more of a main focus than the other experiments. Anyway, yeah, I really like his character. I like the fact he has all of Stitch's powers, but he's too cowardly and lazy to use them. So, anyways, moving on to the next newly added character. So Sparky, one of the other experiments, who was 221 or 211? I think it's 221. Anyways, I really should fact check more often. But anyways, Sparky is enjoyable to the point where he's kind of like Stitch before he turned good, I guess you could say. And I honestly have to say, like, his power is probably one of my favorites out of all the experiments' powers. So yeah, he's entertaining. His story arc of, you know, becoming Stitch's cousin, because that's what Stitch calls the other experiments, was enjoyable, and he had a lot of humorous parts. I like when he does when he got Nalaquista to Stitch, and Stitch is like, oh, like, how dare you? And it's like, oh, really? Well, at least he didn't say it before the entire Galactic Council, but that's besides the point. Anyways, so, yeah, I think that pretty much covers all the characters. I can get into animation and music next. So, the animation in this movie is okay. It doesn't hold up to the original, obviously, for obvious reasons. They probably didn't have the budget for this that they had for the first movie, or probably even the second, but they do well with the style they chose. It kind of reminds me of the watercolor style that they used in the previous two, but it's like, looks different. So, Stitch's design kind of makes him look a little older. The music's alright, but nothing really groundbreaking for a Disney movie, so it's kind of just like a soundtrack that they just wanted to rush and make for the movie, I guess you could say. Anyways, so that's characters, animation, music, all done. So now let's talk about the movie itself. I wouldn't say this is the Lilo and Stitch sequel that I've been waiting for, but it does add more to the story and sets up the Lilo and Stitch TV series, which I enjoyed watching extremely. So, anyways, let's judge it on its own merit. How does it hold up as a movie? It's alright, but nothing like spectacular. So, I'd say, as a rating, I'd probably give it a 3 thumbs ups out of 5. So, yeah, it's not the greatest Disney movie ever made. But, yeah, that's Lilo and Stitch. It's his third movie that I've reviewed now. Stitch, the movie. 1 television series and movie left to go. So, thanks for watching.